All right. So sorry that I wasn't able to make it to class. I had a family emergency. Um, we are going to pick up with chapter 8. So I'm going to head and share my screen. Hopefully all of you can see my Revit model now. I'm on page 8-1 in the Revit textbook, interior and exterior elevations. This lesson will cover interior and exterior elevations. The default template you started with already has the 4 main exterior elevations set up for you. You will investigate how Revit generates the elevations and the role the elevation tag plays in that process. You will also be introduced to a feature called design options. Here you will look at setting up an exterior elevation and how to control some of the various options. Setting up an exterior elevation, even though you already have the main exterior elevation set, you will go through the steps necessary to set one up. Many projects have more than 4 exterior elevations, so all exterior surfaces are elevated. So I have my 7.4 open, and I'm going to do a file, save as project, 8.1, and save. Okay. You're going to switch to level 1 floor plan view. You're going to go to the View tab at the top, and you're going to go into Create. Let me move my toolbar over. Create Elevation. Select the main part of the split button. Place the temporary elevation tag in the plan view as shown in figure 8-1.1. As you move the cursor around the screen, it'll automatically sense where is the nearest elevation, and it'll kind of rotate to point at it. You now have an elevation added to the project browser in the elevations group. So let's go down. You can see we have east, north, south, west, which were our 4 original elevations. But now we have also elevation 1A. After placing an elevation tag, you should rename the elevation labeled in the project browser. In the project browser, under elevations, building elevations, select the elevation labeled that was just added. It should be elevation 1A. We're going to right click on it, rename, and we're going to type South Temp. And enter. The elevation may now look correct right away. You will adjust this in the next step. It may not look correct right away, so we're going to adjust it now. Notice though that an elevation was created simply by placing an elevation tag in the plan view. Switch back to level 1 floor plan view. Next, you will study the options associated with the elevation tag. This in part controls what is seen in the elevation. The elevation tag has two parts, the pointing triangle or pointer and the square center or body. Each part will highlight as you move the cursor over it. Select the square center part. So we're going to kind of go zoom in on it a little. You can see there's different components to it. You're going to view the direction boxes. The checked box indicates which way the elevation tag is looking. You can check or uncheck the other boxes. Each checked box relates to an elevation view in the project browser. The rotation control, which is this right here, allows you to look perpendicular to an angled wall in plan, for example. While selected, you simply drag the tag to move it. So you can drag it to and fro. Now we're going to deselect it, and we're going to select the pointing portion. And you will see our screen has changed a little bit in its view. In the Properties palette, set far clipping to clip without line, and then click OK. So this right here is adjustment grips to control the view. Like we could pull it back into the building more, bring it closer to the elevation tag. The far clip plane is this dashed line. And the cutting plane is this solid line. And there are grips here that can control the width of it as well. So the elevation tag is selected. The cutting plane, extent of view line. This controls how much of the 3D model is elevated from left to right. The far clip plane, this controls how far into the 3D model the elevation can see. And the adjustment grips, you can drag this while with the mouse to control the features mentioned above. Select the view label South Temp in the project browser. Now look at the property palette for the views. You have several options in the property palette. Notice the options under the extents heading. Below is an examination of 3 of these settings. Crop view, this one here. This crops the width and height of the view in elevation. Adjusting the width of the cropping window in elevation also adjusts the extents view control and the plan view. The crop region visible, this displays a rectangle in the elevation, which indicates the extent of the cropping window. And far clipping, if this is turned off, Revit will draw everything visible in the 3D model within the extents of the view. You will manipulate some of these controls next. With the elevation tag still selected, drag the cutting plane extent of view to line up with the atrium as shown in figure 8-1.5. So we're going to click on this. And we're going to drag this way. And we're going to drag this to the back of the elevator. Now switch to the elevation view. Your elevation should look similar to figure 8-1.6. If required, click on the cropping region and resize it to match figure 8-1.6. The atrium curtain wall and roof are now displayed in section because of the location of the cutting plane in the plan view. Next, you will notice that the roof is not fully visible. This is not related to the cropping window shown in figure 8-1.6. Rather, it is related to the far clip plane set in the plan view. Adjust the far clip plane in level 1 plan view so the entire roof shows in the south temp view. So we'll go back to our floor plan. And we will bring this so it goes past the center of the building. That should get the whole roof. Now let's open it back up. No, we didn't get quite all of it. Could adjust the grip up. There we go. Next, you will adjust the elevation tag to set up a detail elevation for the atrium curtain wall. In level 1 plan view, adjust the elevation tag to show only the atrium curtain walls. Figure 8-1.7. Like so. Now, then switch to the south temp view to see how it looks different. Adjust the south temp view's properties to turn off the crop region visibility. This can also be done via the control bar. There's the south view. Just properties to turn off the crop region's visibility. This can be done in the crop region visibility. Okay, so right here, we're going to turn that off. Apply. And you don't see the box around it anymore. We're going to do a save. Okay, so now we're on to page 8-7. The purpose of this exercise is to demonstrate that changes can be made anywhere and all other drawings are automatically updated. Modify an exterior elevation. So we're going to do a save and then a file, save as, project 8.2, save. We're going to open the east elevation view. Come on. There we go. Use the window tool and select fixed 32 by 48. You will, come on. So, you will insert a window in elevation. This will demonstrate first that you can actually add a window in elevation, not just plan view. And second, that the other views are automatically updated. Notice with the window selected for placement, you have the usual dimensions helping you accurately place the window. As you move the window around, you will see a dashed horizontal cyan line cyan colored line indicating the default sill height. So you see that little cyan line there? Place a window as shown in figure 8-2.1. Make sure the bottom of the window snaps to the cyan line. So we're going to do 4.6, 4'6", and click. And then switch to level 1 plan view to see that the window has been added. The window might be facing towards the inside like mine is. If that's the case, just select the window and hit the arrow key to arrow it so it faces outward. Okay, we're going to switch back to the east elevation view. Look, you can see in the doors and windows that we placed earlier. Add windows as shown in figure 8-2.3. Architecture, window 32 by 48. Why is it not coming? Hold on, I'm going to hit modify. They're all 32 by 48s. There we go. We're going to place one at, we're going to place these in and then we'll space them. 8'8". (5'4". I'm going to go ahead and place these windows in. Oops. And then I'll adjust the distance. (5'4). Remember, you always have to click on what you want to move. So to get these two windows spaced properly, I don't want to move this one again because I just got it into place. So we will go ahead and select this window, and then we will put the dimension 8'8" in. Okay. Now we can do a copy. Modify. Copy. I'm going to hold my control and select these 4 windows. And then I'm going to enter. Then I'm going to click on where the grid hits the building, or sorry, the grid line. And then I'm going to bring it up and up again. And look at there, we have windows. If you laid out the interior walls as described in lesson 3, you should get a warning message when inserting the windows on level 1 towards the north side of the building. This is because the interior walls for the room northeast corner conflict with the exterior. I have never received this error that they talk about in this view, so I'm not sure, why, but I have not. We're going to, it's asking us to go to level 1 to fix it. And so we're going to fix these 2 rooms as per the graphic on 8-9. And it looks like I have forgot to put doors in there. So I'm going to add the doors in first. Door. Okay, then I'm going to use the modify split tool. And I am going to do a split right here. And a move. And I'm going to bring this to the other side of the window. Whoops. Okay. Let's do this. Oops. Bring this wall back a little. I'm going to trim this wall. Now I'm going to select this wall, hold down my control, select the two doors, and move it back. Then I can grab this wall and I can pull it back into the wall. There we go. Sometimes it's a little feisty when you do the split command. Now I need to go to the level 1 reflected ceiling plan and fix that. Because of our changes, we are going to ceiling grids are likely not aligned. Most of the time when you move a wall, Revit will automatically update the ceiling grid to fit. But I think because we used the split tool, it confused it a little bit. So we are going to just modify the grid a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is select this grid here. Modify ceiling. Edit boundary. And I'm going to use my align. And I'm going to click here and here. And do a green check. So that one's fixed. Then we will select the next grid. Edit boundaries. Align. Click. Click. Green check mark. And then for this final ceiling, select the ceiling, edit boundary, and we're going to use the line command for this. And the trim. We've got an overlapping line. Let's see. Delete that. That should take care of it. There, all fixed. We're going to save that. Then we're going to go to the west elevation. Add the same layout of windows to the west. Mirror the windows in plan view on each floor. Okay, so let's go to level 1. We're going to select these windows. First, I'm going to make sure that they're facing the right way. Okay. Then I'm going to hit my modify, select those windows. And then we're going to do mirror pick axis and pick our axis. And then we have them on that floor. Then we're going to go to level 2. Oops, that's the ceiling plan, floor plan. We'll make sure that our windows are all facing out. Those are all good. We're going to select those windows. And mirror pick axis. And then we're going to go to level 3. Make sure our windows are all facing the correct way. Which they are. Now we're going to hit modify, select our windows. Mirror pick axis. And we have all of our windows in the correct spots. So let's save. Now, I'm on page 8-11, creating and viewing interior elevations. Creating interior elevations is very much like exterior elevations in the fact you use the same tool. The main difference is that you are placing the elevation tag inside of the building rather than the exterior. Adding interior elevation tags. We're going to do a file, save as, project 8.3, save. Switch to level 1 floor plan. Select the elevation tool, view, elevation. From the type selector, and then place the elevation tag. So we're going to go to the type selector now, and we're going to go to interior elevation. Then we're going to place the elevation tag as shown in 8-3.1. Change the name of the elevation to East Atrium. So we're going to look for interior elevations, which we have here now. We're going to right click on elevation 1A, rename East Atrium. Enter. And you will see that it did rename that elevation. So we're going to switch to the East Atrium view. We can do that through the project browser, or we can click on the pointer of the symbol and it will open up that view. Initially, your elevation should look something like figure 8-3.2. You will adjust the view next. Notice how Revit automatically controls the line weight of things in section and elevation. The elevation tags are used to reference the sheet and drawing numbers so the client or contractor can find the desired elevation quickly while looking at the floor plans. This will be covered in a later lesson. So mine looks quite a bit like the one on page 8-12. We're going to switch back to the level 1 view. Pick the pointing portion of the elevation tag so you see the view options. You should compare the two drawings on this page. In the plan view, dictate what is generated visible in the elevation view for both width and depth. The goal is to set the interior elevation of the entire east atrium wall with the floor structure and the roof shown in section. Adjust the controls lines for the elevation tag as shown in figure 8-3.4. Drag the cutting plane extent of view line to the location shown. Make sure that the far clip plane extends past the door alcove, otherwise it will not show up. So we're going to click and we're going to drag this grip all the way up to the far wall. And then we're going to move it into the hallway. And then the plane looks good. So now when we open this east atrium view, we see this. Select the cropping region and drag the top middle grip upward to increase the view size vertically. If the ceiling were drawn for the third floor, well, we have not drawn the third floor ceiling, so you can disregard that. Now we're going to stretch the top of the crop region down to approximately 9'6" above level 3. Then we're going to make sure that the bottom crop region is dragged up to be level with level 1 floor. I get it all? There we go. On the view control bar, set the scale to 1/4 inch. So right here, we're going to say 1/4. My elevation should look figured at 8-3.6. You can leave the crop region on to help define the perimeter of the elevation. You can also turn it off. However, some lines that are directly under the crop region might disappear. You could use the detail line tool to manually define the perimeter. Also notice the level datum automatically resizes to match the new scale when the space permits. Most interior elevations are 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. So we're going to do a save. Modifying the project model in interior elevation. This short exercise, similar to exercise 8-2, will look at an example of Revit's ability to change anything anywhere. All drawings are generated from one 3D model. Modify the interior elevation. So we're going to do a save and a save as project. And we're going to name this one 8-4. Save. Open the east atrium elevation view, which we have it open. You will move 2 doors and add 1. Select both of the single doors on level 2 and 3. Use the control key to select multiple options at one time. Use the move tool to move the doors 6 feet to the right. In the east atrium elevation view, use the door tool to place a single flush 36 by 84 door on level 2 to the far left. (36 by 84). Now it's time to see the effects to the plan view. Switch to level 2 floor plan view. So you can see some differences here in the way those doors were laid out. When placing a door in elevation, you may have to switch to plan view to verify the door swing is the way you want it. You cannot control the door swing in elevation. You can via a right click on the door in elevation, but you would first need to know about which way it was swinging. So let's do a save. And then we're going to do a file, save as, project 8.5, save. We're going to add mullions to our curtain wall now. This exercise will cover the steps involved in designing a curtain wall system, only from an aesthetic viewpoint, not structurally. This is surprisingly simple to do. First, you draw a grid on your curtain wall. This sets up the location for your mullions, which you will add later. Switch to your south temp view. Select Architecture, Build, Curtain Grid. Draw the grid as shown in figure 8-5.1. Be sure to add horizontal grids at level 2 and 3. So we're going to add in one here, one at level 3, one 4 feet down, one at level 2, and one, come on, come on. Oops. Try that again. Four feet down. Now we're going to do the vertical grids. I'm going to place one in, and then I can adjust it. And I'll place another one in. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll go ahead and adjust these. Looks like they're all correct now. if the curtain line did not land in the correct place, you can select it and adjust the dimensions that will appear on the screen. To select the grid, you need to place your cursor over the grid line and press the tab key until the curtain grid is highlighted and then click to select. Select the curtain grid tool, then select on the one segment option on the ribbon. One segment. Draw the two vertical lines set up in the main entry doors in figure 8-5.3. You do not need to draw the doors shown. So let's see. 3 dash. We'll stick it in there and then we'll adjust them. Okay. So notice that the one segment option limits the grid to the cell you clicked in rather than extending from top to bottom as the others did. Next, you will set up the grid lines around the corners. This can be done from the east or west view, similar to the previous steps. However, this can also be accomplished in a 3D view. So let's click on the 3D icon on our quick access toolbar. And we can zoom in. Using the curtain grid tool, add the grid lines shown in figure 8-5.4, starting at the outside corner. Space the grids 5'4". The last will be smaller. So we're going to go to architecture grid and five, 4. Okay. Curtain grid. We should be able to line them up with the corners. Now we're going to take our view control and we're going to orbit to the other side. And do the same on the other side. Oops. There we go. As you move the cursor while placing the horizontal grids, you should see the grid snap to the grid around the corner. That is when you click the mouse. Drag your cursor on the view cube to see your project from different views. Clicking the home icon instead when your cursor is over the view cube will reset the view. Now let's switch back to the south temp view. And select one of the 3'4" wide cells, placing your cursor over the cell edge, and tap the tab key until the cell is highlighted, and then click to select. Tab, 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 click. Then we're going to go to find the door curtain wall single glass. I've got double glass. Let me go to my module and see if I have it loaded in there. I'm going to go ahead and take this Commercial Design Revit family and open it. Download it. And look for curtain wall door. There's a curtain wall single glass door here. We'll double click. Upgrade model. And then I'm going to click load into project and close. Okay. Now I'm going to go back into my south temp. I'm going to tab over this cell until I get it to highlight. Tab, 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 click. Go to my type selector. Find my curtain wall single glass door. And there it is. Now I'm going to do that again for the other side. Click. Curtain wall single glass door. And modify. That looks better. Now I am on page 8-20, adding curtain wall mullions. This far you have simply set up the spacing for the curtain wall mullions. Next, you add to place the curtain wall mullions. This involves selecting a size for the mullions as they typically come in many shapes and sizes. The depth is usually related to the height of the curtain wall, as the mullions act as a structure for the glass wall. Switch to 3D view. Select architecture. In the build section, mullion. From the type selector, drop down, we're going to look for a rectangular mullion 2.5 by 5. So let's see. Rectangular mullion 2.5 by 5. Select the grid lines you previously placed and the perimeter, including the outside, excluding the outside corners of the bottom horizontal members of the south face. So here we go. Boom, boom. Skip the corner. Rotate it around. I think I got them all. Oh, I've got the bottom here. And bottom there. Next, you will add the horizontal mullions at the bottom of the south side. You need to place the mullion so it does not extend through the doors. So, with the mullion tool, click grid line segment. Click on the bottom edge of the 6 cells, skipping the 2 doors. Click on the 2 verticals next to each door to place the mullions. In this example, you will not place a corner mullion. This will be a butt joint condition where the 2 panes of glass are held together with silicone in the corners. However, figure 8-5.7b shows corner mullions that can be added. All views will be updated to show curtain wall mullions. Switch to level 1. And now you will see the mullions added in to the curtain wall. We're going to hit save. I'm trying to decide if I want to do design options. Let me look at the class and decide if I want to do that or not. Yeah, I will wait for design options until next week. So you can go ahead and save your project. And turn in up until 8.5, and then we will continue with 8.6 next week. Because the design options do take a little bit more time. So we'll wait until module 8 to do the design option part. So just turn in up to 8-5, all right? That's all for today. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Thank you.